Today we're going to show you around a little bit of Oklahoma State, and we're going to specifically focus on the athletic facilities and athletic village. And we're going to be shooting on this on the Fuji X-S 10, which is quickly becoming one of my favorite cameras to use. Our first stop at the Fuji X-S 10 and the athletic village is here at Cowgirl Soccer Complex. It's a brand new soccer stadium. It was just finished maybe last year, I believe. And again, just like all the rest of the facilities, athletic facilities here at Oklahoma State, it's one of the top notch in the region. And it's very beautiful and very state of art. Also, the parking lot for the stadium doubles as an RV park for home football games. So there's really just not a whole lot more I can say about the Fuji X-S 10. It really has become just one of my favorite cameras to use. I have about 4 or 5 different videos on my channel about this camera, and it just seems to be one that I seem to gravitate toward. But one of the things I was pretty apprehensive about moving to the APS-C realm was whether I was going to get enough bokeh or not. But all that kind of concern went away. I picked up this 1.4 33mm 1.4 lens. It's one of the cheaper third-party lenses from Viltrox, and man, you can really get a nice looking picture even with this APS-C camera. You can get a really nice blurry background. This is where it all goes down in the fall. Boone Pickens Stadium, and obviously this is our football stadium. It's one of the nicer. It was redone just a few years ago. Oh, probably like 10 years ago. It seems like just a few years ago, but it was completely redone. And boy, they made it into such a really nice football stadium, and it's a really nice experience for the fans. This is the Sherman E. Smith Training Center, and basically it's just the indoor practice facility for football. And it gets so hot here in Oklahoma. It was definitely needed. This building over here is called Gallagher Arena, and it's probably the most iconic basketball stadium in this part of the nation. I mean, it was built so long ago, and they completely redid it, and this was the first step of the process of redoing or creating the athletic village. They redid a Gallagher Arena. And the cool thing about that is they didn't just tear down the old Gallagher Arena. They used the walls, they used the existing structure and created a huge basketball arena around the original Gallagher Arena. So when you go up there, there's some of the original artwork and decor that was in the original Gallagher Arena, still there today. And it kind of creates this kind of new retro vibe in the stadium. And it's really neat. Another thing I'll tell you about this camera, and you hear people complaining about it online when they're doing reviews of this camera, is the lack of 10-bit. And I want to tell you, don't let that be a determining factor whether you buy this camera or not. I mean, I have a Sony A7S III. When I use it, I shoot 10-bit video, and it is pretty much just a pain in the butt. I mean, it just a much bigger files, much more compressed, harder on your computer, take up more storage room. I mean, you can't play them back using QuickTime. I mean, there's a whole host of reasons why 10-bit files are a pain in the ass. So don't let that stop you from buying this camera. Just west of Gallagher Arena is a big open field, and that used to be where they used to conduct football practices outside and until they built a new facility across the street. And apparently that's going to be now turned into the new wrestling center. Whenever it has enough funding to be built, this is where they're going to build the new wrestling facility. Apparently there's 3 facilities left to build on in the athletic village. 1 is the wrestling facility, 2 is the new softball facility, and number 3 is the indoor track facility. So that's what we have left to go as far as facilities here at Oklahoma State University in the athletic village. Some of the other facilities we have that I won't be able to show you is, 1 is the golf facility, which is a world-class golf course just west of Stillwater, probably about 5 miles. And the other is a cross-country facility, which is again another world-class facility for cross-country events. And last year it held the national championship cross-country event. So I don't even know where it is exactly, but 2 other world-class, top-of-the-line facilities but I won't be able to show you those in today's video. Anybody who's complaining about not having 10-bit, somebody who likes to color grade all their footage. And yeah, if you're going to shoot an F-log, any kind of log footage, and you really want to spend the time color grading a lot of footage, yeah, you might want to look into a 10-bit camera. But let me tell you, the eternal profile on this camera, and all Fuji cameras for that matter, is just great. It's just great. And there's no need, if you're just shooting little videos like this, to have to go in and color grade each individual clip, 10-bit footage, all this and that. You can shoot 8-bit. You turn a profile, put it straight in your timeline. You might want to tweak it ever so slightly, just to kind of, for your taste, but it's really not going to need a thing if you don't want it to. So don't let 10-bit or the lack of 10-bit keep you from buying this camera. Also, people like to complain about no 4K 60. Yep, that's an issue. That this camera is so small, there's no way they could have done it, and it overheated in 2 seconds. It does have 4K or 60 frames a second and 1080, which is fine. Again, this is not a professional rig. This is to go out, shoot, have fun, and have good looking footage with as little as work as possible, and boom, that's what this camera does. Great camera, highly recommend. We're sitting just to the north of the Sherman E. Smith indoor training facility for football. But this particular spot gives you a pretty good vantage point of the rest of the athletic village. And what you're looking at here is the Michael and Ann Greenwood Tennis Center. Again, brand new to fairly new sports complex, all for tennis. It has indoor and outdoor tennis facilities. So just to the north of the tennis center is the very, very new O'Brate Stadium, which they just started playing in this year. Now, it was built and ready to open before baseball season last year, but COVID kind of shut everything down before the season even started, so they wouldn't, even though the stadium was finished and ready to use, they didn't get to use it last year because of, baseball season was canceled. So this was the first season officially in the new baseball stadium, O'Brate Stadium, and we had George W. Bush in to throw out the first pitch, and it was an exciting day for Stillwater. Just to the east of O'Brate Stadium is a track facility. Now, they completed, this is one of the first projects they completed for when they started to redo the sports athletic village. I don't know why it was one of the first, but it was absolutely one of the first ones they did. They did a basketball, and then I think the track after that, and then the football, or maybe the football, then the track. I don't know. The new track facility was here long before the baseball, the tennis, the new soccer, all that. And kind of the last stop on the tour of all the athletic village facilities is the Cowgirl softball facility. It's kind of the oldest one still here, and definitely is the very next one that needs to be redone. And I think it's in the works. Our softball team is getting steadily better as time goes on, and we definitely need a new softball stadium. This one has definitely outlived its lifespan, I think. And man, if you could get around to the front and look, and there's just not very many seats. If I could get around and show you, but I don't think I can, there are just not very many seats at all in the stadium, constantly having sellout crowds. And they've tried to spruce it up a little bit, and they have like a deck in the outfield, and that's all really neat and everything. But the truth of the matter is we definitely need a new softball stadium, especially if our girls are going to, compete at a high level like they have been. They built a deck along the fence there just for more fan seating, and it's more of a party atmosphere out there. So that's really neat that they did that, especially since softball seems to be really taken off in the last few years as far as fan popularity, and it's a good spectator sport. And they're starting to show it on TV more and more. The games don't last very long. It's a really neat sport and exciting. And I think to bring that next level of excitement and interest here at Oklahoma State, we're definitely gonna need a new stadium. So if I had $30 million laying around, I'd probably go ahead and donate some, but it's probably not gonna happen. So after using the Fuji X-S for a few weeks now, I had to say that this is pretty much the only camera that you'd ever really need. I mean, it shoots great video, great pictures. Everything about it is just great. It does have a few quirks, like the autofocus is a little quirky. Just make sure you have the box centered where your face is going to be, and if it loses your face, it's going to automatically defer to the box. And that's not a problem. And the auto exposure is a little funky. It'll go up and down as you shoot videos, and it's a little funky sometimes, so you have to make sure you keep an eye on that. But if you're a person out there that's been shooting other cameras like I shot pretty much everything, and was just having a hard time biting the bullet on a Fuji camera, and decided, I just want to give this one a shot to see what it's all about. Like the Fuji X-T4 just really didn't, it's a little bit more than I wanted to spend just for something to try out. And when this camera came out, it piqued my interest because it's a lot cheaper, the same sensor and everything, a lot cheaper. And I just decided, I'm going to try it out and see what I think about it, because it's a lot smaller too. And I've just really enjoyed it. And I have to say, it's pretty much the only camera that anyone would ever need. It just does everything. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the little look around the Oklahoma State Athletic Village while taking a look at the Fuji X-S 10, and thankfully I didn't get arrested while shooting this portion of the video. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you on the next one.